All right, how's it going, Weld 2 family? Once again, here Rosendo Rodriguez at South Coast Welding Academy, Houston, Texas. All right, so for today's video, we have a very special guest. Her name is Shannon at That Tile Chick. Check her out on Instagram and on YouTube. So for today's video, we're gonna be showing her how to stick weld for beginners. The same thing that we show our students on their very first day of class. So check it out, stand by. All right, Shannon, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I am a residential tile contractor in Houston, Texas. And so I primarily focus on bathroom remodels, kitchen remodels, and doing all that fun, fancy stuff. Last time I came to visit and I soldered some copper pipe with Tony. He taught me, so you guys can check out that video. It was a couple weeks back. You can also check me out on YouTube at That Tile Chick and on Instagram. So I'm excited to get started today to learn stick welding for the very first time and see how you guys do it here.
So Shannon has never welded before. So on today's lesson, we're gonna be welding with 6010 and 7018.
Okay.
So which one is 6010, 7018? 6010 is gonna be the gray rod. 7018 is gonna be the white one. Now they all come in different sizes. So how do you measure a rod? Well, you're not gonna measure it by the flux. What you're gonna do, you're gonna flip them around and measure them by the metal.
Okay.
So our 7018 is smaller than our 6010. So this right here, the white one, is gonna be 7018 332. The gray one is gonna be 6010 1/8.
Okay.
So 1/8 is bigger than a 332. These are gonna be our two different type of stick rods that we're gonna be using. So let's go ahead and go to the board, and I'm gonna write down some notes real quick. Before we get to welding, all right, you always wanna prep your plate or pipe, whatever you're gonna be welding on. So our plate right here, it looks like this. It's gonna be a 1/2-inch plate. This plate right here has a thin layer on top. It's a coating, right? This right here is called male scale, and you have to get rid of that. So you're gonna get rid of that by grinding with a grinding disc, all right?
Okay.
So you're gonna use your grinding disc. You're gonna grind that off until it's very shiny, nice and shiny. So number one, you're always gonna prep. So prep meaning clean. All right, you gotta have a nice and clean surface in order to weld. So you're gonna grab the grinder and you're gonna grind off all this male scale. Make it nice and shiny. So I have this plate here that I found.
So this is what it's supposed to look like?
Kind of, but you see how it's still kind of dirty in here?
Okay.
You want to get rid of all of that nice and shiny, kind of like this. It's a lot shinier.
All right.
So you don't want to use a wire wheel. This is what you don't want to use.
Why not?
All right, it's not going to get rid of that male scale. You have to dig in. Okay. So now you're going to use your grinding disc. Okay. That's what you're going to use. So whenever you're grinding, make sure you dig enough where you can see it nice and shiny. All right, here we go, Shannon. It's all you.
Okay, guys, so I am going to prepare this plate. I'm going to use a grinder with a grinding wheel for metal. I use a grinder all the time in tile jobs. We use a blade to cut tile doing intricate cuts, or when we do large format tiles that are like as big as this table and they don't fit in the saw, we have to hand cut them with a grinder. So I'm pretty familiar with a grinder. I've never cut metal or did any kind of grinding with metal, so we'll see how this goes. There's gonna be a lot more sparks. Kind of nervous, but I think I got this.
Yeah. Try to go in a little bit more steeper.
A little bit more?
A little more steeper, yeah. Good. So always clean your surface before you weld, and that's it.
Okay. Do the plates always have to be this thickness, or are there different ones?
They don't always have to be that thickness. here at the school we like to use a 1/2-inch plate.
Okay.
Because it's a little thicker and it gives the students a chance to go a little bit hotter.
Okay.
Sometimes a little bit hotter becomes easy for them to understand how to move a puddle, how to weld a little bit better.
Okay. So we want to start on a thicker plate.
So yeah, like for beginners, so you always want to start like on a thicker plate because you can always play around with heat.
Okay.
You can go cold and hot.
Okay.
What I like to do with my students, on one side of the plate, I'm gonna have them do 60-10, and on the other side of the plate, we'll do 70-18. So look, check this out. So we're gonna start off with 60-10 first. All right, so 60-10, the size of the rod is a 1/8. 60-10, 1/8, and we're gonna be going at 85 amps, plus or minus. So what is plus or minus? Meaning you can go up or you can go down, okay? So plus or minus, this right here is your size, and this right here is your temperature, amps.
Okay.
Temp. All right, just like that. Okay, so for 70-18, all right, on 70-18.
Which color is the 60-10 again?
60-10 is going to be gray.
Okay.
70-18 is going to be white.
Got it, okay.
So 70-18, 332,
Okay.
and we're going to be going at 90 amps, plus or minus.
Okay.
So two different rods, two different sizes, different temperatures. Now we're going to get to business. So now, Shannon, all right, we're going to start off with 60-10, and I'm going to show you a couple techniques, what you're going to do. All right, so on 60-10, our very first pass that we're going to do is we're going to drag it nice and slow. All right, so all you're going to do is drag it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to draw it here, but later I'm going to show you how to drag it. So first technique, first pass, we're going to drag it. Second pass that I'm going to show you is called stacking dimes, or people call it stitching. You're going forward, you're going back. Okay, you're stitching, or a whip. It's the same thing. Okay, you're whipping it. So now the way we do this, you're going to start, right? You're going to start and you're going to go forward. You're going to go forward about maybe like an eighth or so. About an eighth, you're going to go forward, and then you're going to go back, straight back into your puddle, and you're going to pause and you're going to feed, you're going to push. Whenever you're pushing, you're going to see your puddle build up, okay? So you're going to go back, pause, push, and your puddle's going to build up. All right, so now you're going to go again, forward, back, pause, push, forward, back, pause, push. Remember, when you're pushing, you're watching your puddle grow, and you're gonna push for about 2 fast seconds, all right? 2 fast seconds. Feed that puddle, watch it grow, and then move forward, back again. Check this out, but whenever you're whipping it, be very careful. You don't wanna push too much, because you're gonna drop metal when you go forward, and then when you go back, you're gonna drop more metal. So remember to whip. So that means that you have to release tension.
Okay.
You release tension when you go forward, come back, and then you feed. That's a whip. So now number 3, our last technique for 60-10. What we're gonna do is tiny little circles, just like that. You're gonna do it like a circle like that. It's almost like a U. You see that? And you're gonna pause on the top and push for 2 seconds. So again, 1, 2, you're gonna overlap it. Go back up, pause, push on the top. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Pause and push on the top for 2 seconds. All right. What you don't want to do is this. If you're going too wide like that, all right, That's bad. You don't want to keep them separated, all
Okay.
right? So close them up nice and tight. So they look like U's, right? So why do we call them circles? Well, whenever you go up and you're feeding, you're
Doing
pushing,
a circle.
all right, your metal's gonna fill up on top. So you end up having tiny little circles. So just remember, keep them nice and tight. Always feed on the top. So what are we doing here? So basically we're breaking in your hand. So a lot of the times, you know, beginners, they have no clue what they're doing. They've never held a stinger. So their hands are tight, their muscles are tight, right? So breaking in your hand, doing all these different techniques, works out your muscles, it loses them out. And that's how you're gonna get better practice, okay? And always, what I tell my students, watch that puddle. Your puddle tells you everything, okay? If your puddle grows too much, that means you're feeding too much or you're going too slow. If your puddle gets smaller, that means that you're long arcing, you're not feeding enough, or you're going too fast.
Okay.
All right? So now we're
Now
gonna
I'm
get to the
nervous.
table.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Shannon, so before we get started, I'm gonna show you how to run this machine really quick. Now, every machine is different, okay? So this is a newer version. It's a Miller. It's an XMT 350 Field Pro. So now, since we're doing stick welding,
Okay.
Shannon, this right here is your stinger. All right, this is what you're gonna use to weld with. All right, so you're gonna grab your stinger. You're gonna
Okay.
grab your stinger, and you're gonna put your lead on the positive side. So stinger, positive. And then you have to ground whatever you're gonna be welding. So
Okay.
you're clamping your plate or your table. You're gonna clamp it and you're gonna run your lead, and that's your ground, is gonna go to the negative side.
Okay.
So stinger is positive, ground is negative. Always
Got it.
remember.
Got
Colors doesn't matter.
Okay.
Don't let it throw you off, black, red, and so on. Just remember, stinger positive, ground is negative.
Negative.
All right, so now since we're doing stick, see how it says TIG in here and stick? Different options for different types of welding.
Yep.
All right, so we're not gonna go on TIG, we're gonna make sure that we're on stick.
Okay.
Okay, so now we can weld stick. But also, since we're doing 6010 and 7018, different metals, right? You have another option here that says 7018, EXX18, and EXX10, 10 for 6010, 18 for 7018. So we're gonna start off with what? 6010.
Yep.
So we're gonna make sure we're on 6010. Now, if you look at the board, our amperage, we're gonna start off at what? 85 amps. We're gonna
Yep.
start off at 85 amps.
I knew that.
We're at 6010. All right, 85 amps, don't forget that. Now check this out. Try to run cold. You also want to try running cold, because sometimes you're going to run into complications where you got to seal a gap and so on. So you got to know how to run cold also.
Okay.
But the bad part is that when you run cold, you're going to end up getting stuck a lot. So practice going cold and going hot. To make it easier, we're going to go hot. So 6010, we're going to start off at what? 85 amps. We're going to go to 85. Boom. Perfect. Okay. And that's it. Very simple. Stick, 6010, 85 amps. So now we're going to grab our stinger, Shannon, and we're going to start welding. All right, Shannon, so we're going to start now. So you're going to put your stick rod inside your stinger.
Okay.
Make
Does
sure
it matter
that
where I see your...
It doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to find is a sweet spot where my stick rod is not going to move around on me.
Okay.
So right now it's
want
at
it
a
to be
90.
tight.
It's at a 90 degree, but
Yeah.
make sure that it's stiff. It's not loose.
Okay.
All right. A lot of the times you're not careful and it's loose in there. So you'll be welding and it'll snap by itself.
Okay.
So just make sure that it's in there nice and tight, or it's not going to be moving around. See, like right now it's good.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna weld, but check this out. Quick little pointers. Whenever you're welding, you weld kind of like if you're painting. So if you have a paintbrush, right, you're painting, you're gonna weld like this, right? This is how you paint. All right, so you're not gonna weld this way. Okay? So what you're gonna do, you're gonna shoot your stick rod right in the middle. All right, your stick rod is gonna be right in the middle at a 90 degree. So from here, from that 90 degree, you're gonna move your stick rod 10-15 degrees to the right and 10-15 degrees towards you.
Okay.
This is the angle that you're gonna use all the way through.
Okay.
All the way through. All right, so 10-15 degrees to the right, 10-15 degrees towards you. That's the angle that you're gonna use. But if you're left-handed, now if you're left-handed, you're gonna do the opposite. 10-15 degrees this way and 10-15 degrees towards me. Okay? All right, so we're right-handed.
It's a lot to remember.
So it's, you know, just very simple. It's just
Okay.
a simple little angle that you gotta have, and you're always gonna lead with the
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
You're always gonna lead with the back, just like that.
So
what
15 degrees, make sure your rod's tight, and look at the top of the circle like you told me before.
That's right. So yeah, so you always wanna look at your circle, which is your puddle. Your puddle tells you everything.
Yeah.
So watch your puddle, watch how it forms up. Try to keep your puddle the same size all the way.
Okay.
All right, so now look. So now what I'm gonna do, since we're learning, I'm gonna prep my elbow, my left elbow on the table. I'm gonna prep it, right? And look how I grab my stinger. I'm gonna choke it. I'm gonna choke it from the neck, just like that. This hand right here is gonna wrap around right over here. I'm gonna barely touch my fingers. You see that? My pinky. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to gain balance, okay, without shaking too much.
Okay.
All right, so you want to do that. Once you start getting more experience, then you can start doing it with one hand. But for now, we're gonna prep ourselves, right, just like this. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna shoot like that, and we're gonna weld straight across.
Okay.
All right. So now, before we start welding, you got to learn how to strike an arc.
Okay.
So a lot of the times we struggle, we get stuck too much. Try not to go in directly like that. What I like to simulate is an airplane landing on a strip. So if you have an airplane that is going to land, what's going to do, as soon as it touches the ground, right? As soon as it touches, it goes forward. Now in 60-10, what you want to do, as soon as you strike your arc, you long arc a tiny bit until the tip gets warm enough. Once it gets warm enough, then you can start feeding normally. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. If it doesn't get stuck, oh look, Shannon, look how slow I'm going.
Yeah.
Super, super slow. I try to be nice and steady. Watch my puddle. You see how my puddle's the same size the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm always feeding. I'm always feeding. See that?
Yep.
All right. So I'm always looking at my puddle. I'm seeing how it grows. Now remember, if your puddle doesn't grow, it's because you're not feeding, you're not pushing, or you're probably going too fast. So if your puddle grows too much, it means you're feeding too much, or you're going too slow. Okay. So now I want you to focus on that arc too. So if you start seeing your arc flaring up too much, it means your long arc. You need to feed, okay? All right, so let's see what happens whenever we long arc. Are you ready? All right, here we go. You see how it gets a little bit balanced?
Yeah.
So there's barely any puddle. So you need to push. Then you start seeing your puddle build up perfectly.
Okay.
All right, so you're barely touching the plate. And all you gotta do is continue to go straight. Now watch, I'm gonna long arc again. Ready? Boom. Okay?
Yeah.
So you always have to feed, okay? So now we're gonna clean it, we're gonna see how it looks, and then you're gonna do it. Sounds good?
Okay.
All right. All right. So there you have it. So now you have a straight bead. All right, so I'm feeding, I'm pushing. If you see how it's nice and equal all the way around, nice and even, all right, and that's how you're gonna do it. So watch your puddle build up, go forward nice and slow. Here, I'm long arcing. I'm long arcing, meaning I'm pulling away, and I'm feeding, long arcing. All right, and it comes up uneven. Okay, so make sure that you're always feeding.
So, like, I noticed that the rod wasn't even, like, can I see this for, for an example? So, like, when you were long arcing, you were not really, it's like, it's not like the rod's actually touching the metal. It's almost like there's a space between.
Yeah, there's a very, very smaller space between the stick rod and your plate. But the most important thing is watching your puddle build up.
Yeah.
If you don't see it, you gotta push. That's exactly
you can almost hear it too when you're not pushing it.
When you're not pushing it, you can see it and you can hear it too. It flares up really, really bad. So let's go ahead and try it. You ready?
So when I do it, I need to know where am I going to begin and where am I going to end?
Okay,
like,
so now
how long am I going to run the beach
for?
for?
Well, I mean, right now you're just gonna practice.
Okay.
So you don't have to go the whole way. But like, okay, so for example, my students, I tell them go ahead and start from the beginning to the end. Try to do the whole line without stopping. So, but remember, so whenever you get uncomfortable, you have to stop. You got to stop.
What do you do to stop?
Yourself.
You just pull off?
Yeah, so whenever you stop, you don't just pull out slowly like that. What I like to do, I like to whip it out. So it's a fast whip, so you're avoiding complications again, porosity, trash at the end.
Okay.
So I like to whip it out. So I can show you right now real quick if you want.
Okay.
All right, ready? So I'm welding. So you don't want to pull out straight out like that. What you want to do, you want to whip it out.
Okay.
So all you're doing is whipping it out pretty fast, and that's it. Simple as that. All right, let's see. Ready? Dun 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 dun. You got this.
All right, we're good? Action?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to put the rod in here.
Put it inside the stinger. All right, just play it in there you go. So now you're gonna move it around, make sure it's not flimsy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And that was the day Shannon became a welder.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's
all right.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It happens all the time.
Hey, I got it started.
There you go. All right, so go ahead and put it in there. All right, look, put it in there. Right, so you'll get it. Put it in there.
Oh my god.
Just like that.
Scared the shit out of me. I think that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Now you always want to be careful because remember there has to be contact with metal, right?
Okay.
So if you're squeezing the flux, then you're not gonna make contact. That should be good. Nice and stiff. That's good. So go ahead and choke it, just like that.
Okay.
All right. Now get
Sorry,
ready.
I almost set everybody on fire.
That's fine. Now look, this is what you're gonna do. So prep your elbow, just like that. All right, just like that. Now with this hand, whenever you're ready, you can bring your hood down. See it? You can bring it down like that, and then you're gonna grab the stinger with your other hand, just like that. See how you can see through now?
Yeah.
So now, this is what you gotta do now. Remember, your angle, 10, 15 degrees, which is like that, towards you, and 10, 15 degrees this way. So this is the angle that you want to keep the whole time, all the way across.
Okay.
So do a dry run without welding, and you're gonna do this. Make sure you're comfortable going all the way across. There you go. Now watch, remember how I said your angle, right? This is very common now. All right, so what you're doing, you started off with a good angle, but as you're moving along, you're doing this.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
So what you got to do now? You know that's what's going to happen, right? Now force it to keep that same angle all the way through. Try not to bend your wrist this way.
Okay.
You're going to force it all the way through, just like that. So you got to push away from your body. This is your pivot point right here. Good, good, good. All right, see how it's starting to change now?
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the problem. Check this out. Because remember how I move your body more this way?
Uh-huh.
Slowly, you're scooting back.
Yeah.
All right, try to move your body more this way. There you go. Good.
Okay. Let me see.
There we go. Good, good. See how now I can see that you're gonna get more coverage.
Yeah.
Very good. That's the angle that you're gonna keep just like that. And now you're gonna push away. Keep the same angle. There you go. Push, push. Push, 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 push. All right.
Okay.
Let's do this. Right underneath this bead, okay?
Okay. I'm stuck.
That's fine. Go ahead and pull it out. There you go. There you go. Now, that's gonna happen. That's good though. You're trying to you're seeing what's happening. Okay. So it's basically like as soon as you touch, you gotta lift.
Go.
You gotta lift long arc so it heats up. Remember that. Feed. Push a little bit more. Push. There you go. Now slow it down a tiny bit. Slow it down. Good. You see how your puddle builds up?
Yeah.
All right, push a little bit more so you can see your puddle better. Good. A little bit more. There you go. Push more. Good. Feed. There you go. Now watch. So I'm gonna grab your hand and watch how it feels. All right, there you go.
Okay.
So now you see how much you have to push?
Yeah.
So you're pushing, you gotta push a lot. Slow it down so you see your puddle build up the same size. Look at my angle. The angle stays the same the whole way. We're about to pull out. Whip it out. Not bad. Very good. There you go. So now check this out.
Okay.
How much do you have to push?
You have to push a good amount.
You really have to feed.
push.
You
Yeah.
have to feed until
You have to control it, otherwise nothing is going to happen.
nothing is going to happen. You'll see your puddle, but it's not big enough. It's not doing anything. So
Okay.
you have to feed until you see a good puddle,
Okay.
a perfect circle, and then just
Okay.
keep it the same all the way through. Ready?
Are
Let's
you
try it
going to
again.
zoom in on this atrocity?
Actually, not that bad.
What?
All right, break it out. There it goes. Good. Remember, try to be nice and gentle.
Okay. So as soon as it touches, I have to be moving.
You have to move, but remember, you got to long arc a tiny bit so that tip warms up.
Okay. Come on.
There you go. Oh. Pull it out. Try it again. Try it again. Almost. You're going to get it. You'll see. There it goes. Good. Now start. All right. Feed. Push. There we go. Push a little bit more. Push. Good. A lot better. Push. Every time you see the flare just flaring up like that, a little bit wild, you need a push. There we go. Push. Feed. That's good. Good. Let it build up. Push. There you go. Feed. Good. Feed. Good. Now you see what happens when you feed too much? Whenever you feed too much, it kind of wants to choke, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So that's a sign that you're feeding too much.
Okay.
Good, right there. That's perfect. Good. Feed. Feed. All right. That's it. All right, a lot better, right?
Yeah.
Good stuff, good stuff.
Okay. A little bit of an improvement.
That's right, that's really good. So it's all about feeding. It's all about slowing down too.
Like getting the right finesse.
Yep, that's all it is. So it
Okay.
takes practice, and this is what you would do over and over until you perfect that feeding amount.
Okay.
All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and clean this,
Okay.
and we're gonna start doing our next technique.
It gets scary when you like start really feeling the heat, when
Oh.
you're like really close, when it's small.
when it gets smaller.
Yeah.
So what you want to do, you always want to keep an eye on your stick rod. Don't let it get too small, because otherwise you're gonna burn yourself. So try to get them about maybe like at your last quarter or a third of it, and then just stop.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and clean this up real quick. Just
Okay.
wire wheel it. Good. Good, good. Try to get in between the cracks and all the way around.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and see this. Check it out. So we're gonna look at your weld real quick. Do you see how it builds up? Nice and even. That's good, because you're feeding constant. Now
much.
here, too much. It gets heavier, but you see how there's breaks in between? There's breaks. That's because you're long arcing. You're long arcing, you're not depositing enough metal. But now look at this one right here. This is the first one you did. See how thin it is? Really skinny. Well, here you're going super fast. You're going really, really fast, and you're not feeding enough.
Okay.
That's why you're getting patches. Okay, so not bad. That's a huge improvement from this one. All right. Not bad. Look at
Okay.
that.
I felt a little bit more comfortable.
A lot better. A lot better. Not bad. Really good, huh?
Yeah.
A lot better. Best one so far.
Little
That's
better,
good.
a little better.
That's good. All right, so now look. So now check this out. So whenever you get towards the end, all right, you tend to long arc a lot.
Yeah.
In every single one. But that's because your rod is getting smaller.
Yeah, so I'm
it's
getting
smaller.
afraid, yeah.
So now it's backing away from you. So now you gotta see it coming. All right. So all right, I see my stick rod getting smaller. That means I have to force myself to push more. So you need to feed more.
Okay.
Okay. So when it's too long, you don't even feel it because it's so big. Okay. So just remember to push towards the end.
Okay.
Really good. See how it looks?
Yeah.
Huge
Oh, yeah.
improvement.
Much
Huge.
better.
Huge. Nice and even. Nice and even. Still got little few spots that you have to improve. You're still long arcing a tiny bit. You're still going fast a little bit. Sometimes I've seen how you push a little bit too much. So you start seeing metal do this once you choke it. Okay, so not bad, really good. Okay. All right, Shannon, so you did really, really well on this one. Huge improvements. All right, so you kept your rod nice and steady, your puddle nice and even. So now you know that it's all about pushing, right?
Yep.
Okay, good stuff. So now we're gonna do our second pass. Our second pass is called stacking dimes, or a whip motion. We're whipping it forward, coming back to her puddle. So I'm gonna go ahead and show her how to do it. She's gonna watch me, and then she's gonna do it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right, here we go. So we're still running at 85 amps plus or minus. Okay.
Okay.
Now you're still gonna prep yourself the same way as you were doing, all right? You're gonna prep yourself on the table, same angle, nothing changes, okay? Just different techniques.
Okay.
All right, now look. Forward, back, pause, push. Forward, back, pause, push. Forward, back, pause, push. You see how my puddle builds up?
Yep.
All the way through. So you're gonna move about 1/8 in front and then come back to your puddle and push. But remember, you got to release tension when you go forward. Just like that. Try to go fast when you go forward. You don't want to slow it down. You got to travel fast.
Okay.
So you travel fast because remember, that's why they call it the whip. The whip motion. So it's like an actual whip.
Okay.
You
So
go
it's
forward,
like
back.
forward,
Back,
back,
pause, push.
forward, back.
Yep, just like that.
So it's like forward, back, 1, 2, forward, back, 1,
1,
2,
2.
forward, back, 1,
That's
2.
exactly right. So just be careful with not releasing tension, because if you push, you're going to drop metal when you go forward, and then you come back, you're going to drop more metal.
Okay, so when you're going forward, you're not pushing, you're just,
You're still feeding enough to where you're creating contact,
yeah,
but you're just not
not,
pushing enough, right?
okay,
Because you don't want to drop metal in front of you.
okay.
So you're just
it's
whipping
like,
it forward. And the reason why you whip it forward is because you're letting your puddle cool down. So as you're whipping it, you're watching your puddle cool down, and that's the sign that you have to come back to your puddle and feed on top of it.
Okay.
That's all it is. All right, here we go. Always prep yourself. There you go. Same angle, same everything.
Come on.
A little bit less. There you go. Got a longer. Good. All right. Forward, back, pause. Forward, back, pause. Now I'm gonna grab your hand and I want you to feel how it feels. All right.
Okay.
Here you go. Feed. 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 Watch your puddle cool down. You see it?
Yeah.
Every time I go forward, I'm letting my puddle cool down so I can get back into it. Feed. 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 There you go. What you don't want to do is flick your wrist. There you go. Good, good. Just like that. Push, 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 push. Push, 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 push. Good. Push, push, push. All right. Very nice, very nice. Check it out. See how it looks? You can see your circles.
Yeah.
And they're stacked on top of each other, which is really good. All right, nice and even all the way through. A little big break right here. All right, another break here. Simple little mistakes, but look how nicely they're stacked on top of each other.
Yeah. It's like a
That's
little
it.
rhythm.
A little, yep, that's
Yeah.
exactly right. I like it. Good job on that one.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, you want to do one more?
Yeah.
Come on. Forward, back, push, 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 push. Whenever you go back, you got to push on your puddle. Push. There you go. Push. 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 Good. Now try to whip it a little bit less than that. Push, push, push. Right there. Perfect. Perfect. Push. Good. Feed. Feed. Go forward. Feed. Feed, feed, feed. Feed, feed. There you go. Good, Shannon. Good. Good. There we go. Now we're talking. You know what that's called right there? Money. Good, good. Push, push.
Sorry.
Good. All right. Good.
Cool.
Not bad,
okay.
not bad at all.
I
That's
liked
good.
that one. That was like super comfortable.
Good stuff. So let's check it out.
Cool.
So this is all on your own, right?
You
Now
didn't help me at all?
Well, just in the start.
Just in the beginning?
Just strike an arc. But you'll get it though. It takes a little bit of practice. Now look, but all of this is yours.
Okay.
So look at your motion. Your motion is good. You're going forward. You're going back. You understand that you do have to go into your puddle and you're pausing, you're pushing, and that's it. The only trouble is that sometimes you're not
I pulled
pushing.
too. I feel like I pulled too far away.
Too far away. You started doing that kind of like maybe around this area.
Okay.
Started going forward too much. And that's it. But other than that, you just gotta feed a little bit more. And you're right on it. All right, Shannon. So now we're gonna do our very last technique. Our last technique is what? Circles. So we're gonna be doing circles. Now circles, they can become a little complicated too, but check this out. So we're gonna circle it just like this. We're gonna go down, up, pause on the top, and push on the top for 2 seconds, 2 fast seconds. So you're letting your puddle build up.
Yep.
So it's down, up, pause, 1, 2, down, up, pause, 1, 2. Keep your circles nice and tight, all right, and slow, just slow it down. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You always want to count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So always pause on the top. You're always feeding on the top, okay?
Okay.
Keep your circles nice and tight. All right, here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yep. That's
Do you, when I go around the swoop, do I drag it like I do with the zigzag, or
so,
is it
on
constant pressure?
This one's a constant pressure.
Okay.
This one you're not going to release any pressure. You're always feeding the same amount the whole time.
Okay.
And the reason why, because now you're keeping the puddle the same size the whole time.
Okay.
And this time you're not letting
You're
it
dragging.
cool down.
Okay.
You're not letting it cool down.
So 1, 2.
And then keep your circles nice and tight. Real tight.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Just like that.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh.
Nice, nice.
Okay.
Circle. 1, 2. 1, 2. Very good. 1, 2. Push a little bit more. Push a little bit more. 1, 2. Feed. There you go. 1, 2. Good. 1, 2. 1, 2. Feed. 1, 2. 1, 2. Good job. Your circles are perfect. They're nice and even. Very good. Watch your circle. There you go. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And you're always looking at the top to make sure that you're going in a straight line. Very good. 1, 2. 1, 2. Nice. Very nice. That was all you.
Cool. Okay.
Good.
So that's all I had to do, because really when I finally felt it start, let me try this again.
Try it again.
Because
No,
are you
here,
sure
use-
you weren't giving me a different stick?
No. There were. Every time I gave you a new one, it was a brand new one.
Okay.
It's because.
Because that just seemed
no.
way too easy for all the times I was struggling.
Well, it's because now you're understanding.
Yeah.
Like now you're feeling. Remember how you were asking about a feeling?
Yeah.
That's the feeling that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's so hard to describe it. It's just a feeling you feel in
Yeah.
it. All right. So.
Okay, let me try this
So it's
again.
just like an airplane landing on a strip. That's all it is. As soon as you're touching, you start moving forward, but lightly.
Okay.
All right, let's try it again. We'll get it. Try again.
Okay,
Don't
hold
push too
on.
much.
I'm gonna get this.
Barely touching it. Remember that. There he goes. Good. Good job.
Okay.
That's it. So it's barely touching it, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Shannon, so there you have it. I just showed you how to run a few techniques actually, how to run a 60-10 on a flat surface. So first we did a drag motion, right? And then we did a what? Stacking dimes or whipping it, same thing. And then we did tiny little circles. Now, Shannon, what I want you to do at home, always practice the same techniques.
Okay.
Break in your hand, work those muscles out, do them over and over, and you're gonna see that you'll get better. All right, so here, you're doing excellent. You're improving a lot very quick. And I like that you're very smart. You're paying attention to that puddle. That's what you have to do. Okay, so just practice on your own. Run beads all the way through.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you think?
I think it's awesome. It's definitely a lot harder than I thought, but it's also super simple. Like the concept is simple, but like you said, like the muscle memory and getting used to how your hand has to be and your body positioning, it's different because it's different for everybody. So, but it's definitely cool. It's a nice challenge.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, it's not that simple. It's pretty challenging.
Yeah.
So good job.
Thank you. Thank you for your help.
Yeah. All right, Shannon. So I know we wrote on the board 7018, but we're gonna save that for next time.
Okay.
All right. So next time, you and I, we're gonna do another video, and we're gonna show you how to run 7018. We're gonna do all those techniques. All right. So we're gonna go detail by detail, step by step. So stay tuned for next video.
Part 2. Okay guys, so there you have it, my very first experience welding. I just want to give a huge shout out to WeldTube and South Coast Welding Academy, and especially Rosendo for teaching me all these awesome techniques today. Stick around for part 2. We'll be coming soon. Today, just a quick recap, we did the 60-10 and we did the 3 techniques there. And here's how I did. You guys can leave a comment below and let me know how you think I did for my very first time ever. So just keep in mind, like, subscribe, share, check out my YouTube channel at That Tile Chick, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.
All right. So now that's our 60-10. Our next medal is going to be 70-18. All right. So 70-18. So we're gonna keep it nice and simple. What size rod are we gonna use?
3/32.
332, 32nd.